Hello, and welcome to Talk, Therapy, Heal, a dynamic and engaging show that endeavors to shatter the many stigmas surrounding mental health and therapy. Talk, Therapy, Heal is a collective of licensed counselors, therapists, and life coaches unique in areas of specialization, expertise, and experience. Through the art of curated, genuine, compassionate conversation, we get to the deep things. We are so excited you chose to begin your healing journey with us. Tune in to Talk, Therapy, Heal. Hello, and welcome to Talk, Therapy, Heal. We are a group of dynamic counselors, social workers, and therapists here talking about life's challenges, obstacles, and struggles. But not only that, we're here to give you tactics, strategies, and skills on how to live a healed life. Join us for tonight's episode.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
Hi, I'm Kenya.
Hey, I'm Larisha.
And I am Nikki.
And it's your girl, Shan. As Miss Larisha said, thank you for joining us back. We are continuing on in our relationship series. We're going to put it out there. If you missed any episode because it's building upon each other, you will want to go back to the first one in this series. But tonight, what we're going to be speaking about is when the relationship fails, now what?
So we're talking about what an unhealthy relationship or unhealthy breakup looks like. Let me ask this question. I want to pose this question. Who at this table has had like a really ugly, unhealthy breakup with somebody? And they get...
He said...
I feel like I know we always go to like the intimate breakups with, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, but like any kind of breakup, friendship,
Yes.
leaving a job, different things like that. So tell me about y'all breakup stories.
I can go on and on and on, but
For the sake of time.
yeah, for the sake of time, I'll just say in my previous marriage, my wife is my second wife. That was a really bad breakup. It did not go well. And I think what I had to do at that particular point is to realize that both people played a part in the breakup. It wasn't just me. It wasn't just her. It was some of the things that we both did and things that we failed to do together that caused the breakup. And so I would tell anyone that goes through a breakup, one of the first things that you have to do is stop and reevaluate your entire relationship and then determine. It's not like you're laying blame on the individual, but what did that person do? But also what did you do? And take responsibility in that before you get ready to potentially move on. I think a lot of individuals, they have a breakup and their thing is, I don't want to be by myself. So they jump right back into something else before doing some of the things that we've talked about in our previous sessions, like who am I? Me, myself, and I. Going back to that and revisiting who you are, what you want in life, the goals you have, the priorities that you have set forth, the ultimatums that you're going to put out in the next relationship. I won't stand for this. I won't stand for that. And we have to do this new thing that they say, stand on business.
Come on, stand on business. 10 times.
All right.
Damn.
So that way, when you present yourself, hopefully to the next individual, you start working on those things, or you should have worked on those things that you were maybe not strong at that time. And maybe that makes for a better relationship in the next go round.
Okay. I have one. And it's not an intimate. So I was in college. So I graduated. And it was that transition. So my roommate, we were roommates for 3 years at this point, and we were close. I mean, just imagine, we saw each other every day during the summertime. We were still connected. When I graduated, it was a shift, and it was as if it was like abandonment. And I was lost. Like my identity was lost. I depended on her for friendship, just, camaraderie, girlfriend talk. And everything just stopped. And it's like all because I graduated. She had like one more year. And it was just really hard because what do I do now? I'm outside of school. I'm trying to figure out, I'm an adult, but I have to move back home with my mom. And I lost my best friend at the same time. So that was a really hard transition.
Yeah. I'd have to say one that I can give is job related. And so I worked really hard, and not trying to brag myself when I say this, but because many of us do, as I always do. And my mindset is this when I go into any job. My favorite scripture is Colossians 3:23, for whatsoever you do wholeheartedly unto God and not unto men. So I was one that when I have performance evaluations, I don't care what rating you gave me. And that's what I told my supervisor. I said, because I'm working unto God. So if I'm trying to meet God's expectations, I'm exceeding yours. And she was a believer as well. And so everything was flowing, everything was good until it got too much for me health-wise. The job started wearing down and the position that I had in leadership was too much. Mentally, physically, I had nothing left to give to my family. And so I remember having a conversation with my husband. I was like, yeah, I think I'm about to put in my notice and stuff. And he was like, well, what are you trying to do next? And that's what I was like, I think I'm gonna go to school. He said, why, to be a counselor? Here I am, But what was challenging about it is I said, okay, I sent my 2-week notice on a Friday via email is what I did because it was hard for me to leave. But I was preparing my staff, y'all get y'all other jobs because I'm about to leave because that's just how I am as a leader. And so she did not talk to me the whole time. Mind you, we would speak 3 to 4 times a day. We had to because of our positions, and she would not talk to me. And so then I sat at my desk, I prayed, I said, okay, God, this is my last day. I knew I had to turn in my electronics because I'm trying to not to say who I work for. Turn in my electronics. I had to do my out processing through human resources. I know I had to see her. And I was like, what do I do first? And God laid it on my heart to go to HR and then turn in my electronics, then go see her. And she tried to get me to stay. Well, Chantrell, you're this and this and this. I said, I do know that I understand, but for my own personally, she would not receive it. And she was like, well, let me give you your last performance interview. Barely meets standards.
Wow.
Is what she gave me.
Wow.
And she was like, you sure you don't want to stay? It was October and I was supposed to start school in January. And I was like, no, because I'll be starting school. And I'd already kind of prepared my staff, whoever wanted to stay, save this on your computer just in case you get my position or whatever and stuff. And she got so mad. She was like, well, things with you changed in the last couple of weeks. So this is your rating. I said, okay. I didn't sign it because you don't have to.
Right.
And I'm leaving. So whatever.
Yeah.
But it hurt me. And the reason why it hurt me is because, number one, I felt like as my leader, she did not handle that well.
Yeah.
I don't care what your feelings is like. You still need to be professional. Number two, I gave my whole entire self to everything that I'd done. And I felt like it was a slap in the face.
Yeah.
And then when she seen me in the community a few months later, she was just, to this day, we ran into it not too long ago in the elevator. We ended up at a whole place, ended up in the elevator. And she was just like, oh, like she didn't know me. And the sad thing about it, she was one of us. So that really hurt. So that's my...
I can imagine that hurting, but people have to take certain things when other individuals are hurting you and make it make sense. So I'm turning in my 2-week notice. You give me a evaluation that says I'm not meeting the mark, but you still want me to stay. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. And everything that I believe that we've talked about, the three of us, in any situation where there is a relationship failure, the key word there is loss.
Yeah.
And as human beings, we don't deal with loss very well. And that's one of the things that if some type of relationship fails, you have to look at it just from that standpoint. This is a loss. What is this doing to me? What feeling am I having? And then try to figure out how you overcome that so that doesn't affect you, hopefully in a negative way if you experience loss again.
So what are you all?
Yeah, well. So considering I've been married, 21 years.
Not 21.
Prior to definitely the marriage, I experienced an abusive, relationship. And there's various levels of abuse. And I think in one of our shows, we talked about the black flags and the red flags. I straight up ignored the red flags. Straight up ignored the red flags. But here's the I guess the glaring part of it all is I knew it, I saw it, I knew it wasn't healthy, right? I just knew it wasn't healthy, but I chose, right, to stay in it. And it wasn't until my daughter at the time, she was all of like 2 years old. She said, Mom, why you won't just leave him alone?
Wow.
He always makes you cry. And in that moment, because of the headspace that I was in, I was almost like, get out of my face.
Right.
But this
To the mouth of babes.
hero, you know what I mean? She said, Mom, why you won't just leave him alone? He always makes you cry. She said that immediately. It was like my spirit man leaped within me. You would have thought my spirit man would have, and I believe he did. I just ignored it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so my spirit man was stirred. I immediately went into prayer, and I said, Lord, deliver me. Lord, release me from this thing. And then called in, reinforcement prayer warriors, prayed over me, and cut that thing just off, right off. Didn't, I mean, it's a long story, y'all. but to shorten it, it was an unhealthy relationship. I saw the red flags. I saw all color flags, right? But I just to ignore it. But the breakup, for me, had to be cut off, right? And so maybe in some regards or some aspects, cut off, just like abrupt cut off, an abrupt cut off,
Cold turkey,
may not be healthy. But for this particular thing, it needed to happen that way in order for me to take steps to move forward, to heal. But yeah, it was something, y'all.
Ooh, way. Wow.
Thank
you for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Because I'm pretty sure somebody needed to hear that, especially when we're talking about relationships. And we want to be deep, we want to be relatable, but I understand sometimes we don't feel like we can give as much or give too much. And so we hold back a little bit. My breakup story, I have so many different breakup stories. I feel like that is relevant in this situation or relevant to this question. I'm thinking of friendships that I've had to break up with. And when they happened, I wasn't as healed or who I am today. So I didn't break up well. You know how they talk about ghosting?
Right.
Or you just fall off the face of the earth with no notification, no nothing. I saw it, and this is in a friendship. I saw it where I was pulling back. I began to pull back because of the things that were being exposed to me, or I was starting to see. My eyes were opening up, even though I didn't really realize what was happening in the moment. My eyes were opening up to things to where it's like, oh, that ain't healthy. That's not a good connection. You might want to pull back from that. So I began to pull back, but I was silent in it. I hadn't yet cultivated my voice. So like you said, sometimes some things can be unhealthy when you just abruptly leave it. I feel like in my situation, a conversation should have been had, but it wasn't. But I'm going to tell y'all what I really truly experienced, and you were hitting on it, Kenyon, when you were talking about loss. So grief, I really grieved, and you hit on it too, Rachel. And what you were experiencing was grief. I grieved that relationship, that breakup, even though I was the one who decided to break up.
Wow.
I grieved it. It was a heaviness, so much so to where we talk about how our thoughts manifest in our body as dis-ease. I was having headaches. My neck would be really, really stiff. Like I had so many physical manifestations in my body from the grief because I didn't talk about it. I didn't verbally communicate what I was experiencing. I didn't talk about what that relationship meant to me because, and I think we've had, I don't know, on camera, off camera, who knows? We be talking about all kinds
everything.
of stuff. But I can remember having a conversation about when we have friends and we try to make them, and I think we talked about this too, where you try to make them become a branch on your tree trunk when they were only supposed to be a leaf or a twig.
Wow.
Not permanent. Not permanent at all. So as seasons change, they were supposed to leave, but you try to make that leaf part of a branch or the branch. And when that wind blow too hard and they break off, you hurt.
Right.
And I thought, as I was talking about it, I was like, oh my God, can you imagine? And I don't know if a tree feels, because we don't know.
Right.
But I'm just going to say, for the sake of this conversation, the tree felt, right? And think of yourself as being a tree. You are the trunk. If a limb, your arm, your leg, something breaks, that hurts.
Yes.
So you think of somebody, like you said, your friend, 3 years, she had become a part of you. And that thing broke off. That's painful.
With no explanation.
No explanation. You don't even know how to fix it. You don't even know what needs to be fixed. Like, it's just limp, hanging there. It's still a part of you, but you don't know how to fix that.
Right.
And
I think that's when I think about my clients, I think they have a breakup or a loss or abandonment and they don't know it's grief. And they just try to get over it quickly.
Right.
So then they hop to the next
There you
person,
go.
Yeah.
next friendship.
Yeah.
And then they're still grieving. And then we talked about this. If I'm infected with grief and I come into a new relationship to you, what's going to happen to you?
Absolutely.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so that's the unhealthy breakup is now it's spilling over and it's hitting everybody in sight.
Bleeding on the people around you.
Yeah.
You know, so that infection, I want to stay with that real quick, because that infection, we talked about the
Spreads.
wound, right? It spreads. So we were, and we got much more deeper than what she just explained. Because it's almost like I get in a relationship and I touch you, now you're infected. We break off somehow, you touch him, he's infected. He goes around, he touches somebody else, they're infected. We got an outbreak.
Ooh, an outbreak of grief, depression, and avoiding anxious attachment,
Anger.
anger, and you don't even know where it came from. You got soul ties, and
I just finna say that.
But see, that's what I was about to get ready to say in conjunction with the infection. So from a family, speaking from the niche, that's what bothers me so much when it comes to so as I spoke about a previous episode, kind of make it make sense. I was hurt by the donor that I was in relationship with. And what we often see, and I'm not trying to come for the women, but let's just be honest about this thing. Because we're emotional beings and that's how God created us, then I feel a way, like you said, the infection. So I feel a way because why do you not want to stay with me? I did everything, but guess what? We have a child together. So not only we're affecting those around us, we're infecting that child. Then you affect that child against the other parent. Because how many times have we seen that? And then the child is struggling. And it brings me to the conversation that you and our daughter was having about why she desired to be a child psychologist.
Yes.
The infection.
Yeah.
But think about this. We talk about we were talking about trauma. Go back and watch the episodes on trauma. But we were talking about trauma and transgenerational trauma. And we were talking about how it affects the gene makeup, right? So that infection, just what you said, the donor is now infecting the child. The child grows up with this, and now the child is a carrier.
Yes.
Is a carrier.
Yeah.
Is a carrier of infection who then goes around and they come in contact with somebody else who's infected, and they produce another infection.
My God.
There you go.
And it just continues.
What is that called? I don't mean to cut you off, but you just said it. When people they marry their traumas. You know what I'm talking about? They trauma bond. Trauma bonding. So you trauma bonding over infection, over an outbreak.
So I really like what y'all are. That's crazy.
Oh, listens to death.
Yeah. Just like when there you go.
See,
Sorry.
No. I like what everybody is saying, and it reminds me when we went back and we did the episode about the importance of relationships. And one of the key words that came out there was connection. This is the thing that I really want to get into the hearts of people. Oftentimes when we get into a relationship, we focus so much on connecting, but when we lose that relationship, we don't focus on disconnecting. Because no longer you're not necessarily connected to that individual. So how do you handle that at that point? So, in the example that Shan gave, if she could disconnect it from that individual, now if the child feels disconnected from that, the disconnection continues on. And so what we have to do is really connect back with ourselves first before we go plug into something else. Because if you don't, and I'll give you guys a good example. I love my mom like it ain't no tomorrow. But my mom, she used to take me and we would go to Dairy Queen. And the thing that we would always get would be the blizzards. My favorite blizzard, Shan knows it well. I'm going to get the Oreo cookies with some strawberries and some nuts in it, right? My mom ordered, I know. My mom ordered this this blizzard and she put a spoon in it and she ate it and she was like, And I'm like, Mama, what's wrong? She said, they didn't make this blizzard right. And I, well, it looks all right to me. And she said, no, I ordered this and there's some other stuff in there. And what happened was the lady that made the blizzard, you know, they got it up under that thing. She didn't clean the little roller. So whatever she made before that was in there. And so in my opinion, I'm just like, Mom, hold on a minute. It ain't that bad. It's just a little bit. Just eat it. She said, when I want something that's pure, I don't want nothing else mixed in with.
Listen.
So when it comes to these relationships, you know what you want to order. Don't mix all that other stuff from those other relationships in it because it ain't going to taste right.
So what I heard you say,
It's Joe over.
Yeah.
I know, right? You got to go cleanse yourself.
That people don't do.
That they don't do.
And you know what's so funny? We've all been children. We've all played on the playground. Have y'all ever played like on a rope swing, just a single rope, trying to climb up?
Yeah.
Relationships are like that. Sometimes you got to climb up, and in order to stay there, you got to tie a knot in that rope so you can rest a little bit.
Right.
Like we used to do in air assault school. The problem is sometimes we get hurt, and we're still holding on to that rope. And instead of just letting go, we want to slide, and that's doing more damage than it is. Sometimes you just got to let go. Sometimes the relationship is not worth staying in, and so you need to leave that relationship as best as you can, but focus on those healthy things. Well, I can't live without this individual, so now my best friend is going to be tequila. I can't go without this individual, so everything that I was connected to with that individual, I'm going to completely disconnect from, and now you isolate. That's unhealthy things. Yeah. Or you decide, well, I love that person so much and I need to feel love, so I become very promiscuous. It's so much stuff that individuals do, and sometimes I don't think they know that it's unhealthy. They're just trying to hurry up and heal quick.
Because nobody likes to hurt.
Right. And so this is why I want people to understand. This could be another crazy analogy. You get sick, you hurt something within your body, doctor gives you the medicine. Take this so many days at so many times a day until this prescription runs out. What we do is we go and try to find something and we take all of it thinking and we overdose on stuff that ain't good for us. So I'm going to feed myself because I'm hurting all this alcohol, but it makes me feel better, but it's only temporary. And then it's causing more damage on top of the damage that you already did.
Right.
In order to heal, you have to stay away from all the stuff that hurts you. Why do you think when you go to the hospital, they want it to be so sterile? They don't want infection to set in. They don't want stuff to spread from one person to another. Put your mask on. Cover your nose and your mouth when you cough. All that protects us from germs that start other things. And people don't see that when it comes to relationships.
You said something real key that I think that most people struggle with is the letting go aspect. It's hard. If I knew how to let go, then I would be okay with the things that you're saying.
But I don't know.
But I don't know how to let go. And one thing I tell my clients is that most of the time we're not taught as children how to let things go. We're taught how to receive.
Absolutely.
And so as you get older, you're always thinking that somebody is supposed to give. And so one of the points I wanted to make here is letting go is the most challenging aspect of a breakup. But if people were to imagine the reality of the relationship, it would allow them to accept that the relationship ended for a reason.
Right.
But you won't accept it because because you're holding on to what could have been, what should have been, the plans, the hopes, the future that you set. So if that reality versus
fantasy versus reality.
Fantasy versus reality. in my fantasy world, I'm supposed to have the husband, the child, the house with the white pig
and the dog.
and the dog. And we're supposed to live happily ever after.
Yep.
And if you tell me I can't have that, or something is done and you're saying I can no longer have that, I don't know how to see that. Because I have conditioned in my mind, this is what I want. And people have to understand, or we have to understand, that life shifts.
Yes.
Things happen.
All the time.
Things come in that changes the trajectory of our life, not always for the worst. Sometimes it be for the best. Most times it's for the best. It just depends on how you receive it all, right? But we have to learn to let go. So how do we help them learn to let go?
We have to normalize pain.
Cool.
And I say that because in life, it's a season for everything.
Right.
Right. And we try to bypass that grieving process. So the way that we can let go or accept letting go is accept that there will be pain from disconnection. Right. And if we accept this and we normalize that we have strong emotions when relationship changes, we can get through it. Right. And we will prevent ourselves from internalizing. So now we make it about us. We blame ourselves for the relationship not working out, when really it wasn't meant to be. It was just for a season. It was just for a lesson, right? So normalizing pain and not internalizing it, like not turn against yourself because it did not work out.
Cool.
Right.
Hey, that's something that'll preach in itself. Normalizing instead of internalizing. Good.
That's what
You got. I'm waiting.
Well, I just, my mind just kind of went back to, that breakup that I was kind of sharing with you all. And truth of the matter, I had, how should I say, emotionally let go of it. But I didn't do the physical letting go.
So then there's levels.
Because I knew, like I said, I knew the red flags. I saw them. Emotionally, I was already disconnected. You know what I mean? But the physical, like the presence of the individual was difficult.
So
for me,
help me understand that, because I hear what you're saying, and I've heard people say this before. How people say if they've already left in their mind, they're already gone. Their physical body is the thing that's just still there. So what do you feel like was happening within you, that even though emotionally you were not there, you had already checked out, the physical piece of it, what was that about, and what was the tie that kept you there with that?
Look, I'm trying to see how she gonna say this.
I know.
Look. Because she trying to say it without saying. Go ahead.
Step it too.
We got some on the table.
Yeah. So, it was the physical, the sexual piece of it that kept me there. The financial stability that kept me there, even though I could do everything all by myself, just to know, you know what I mean, that individual could cover me. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, yeah. And so those two things, sad, surface.
It's reality. It's reality. Yeah.
Kept me there. And oh my goodness. Say,
how many people do that though? Like how many?
It's probably a daily.
Somebody listening right now.
A daily thing.
Yeah.
A daily thing.
It's a lot of reasons people stay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I settled. I settled. You know, and I look back at that relationship, and I had a friend, a real close friend, and I lost a friendship because of that relationship.
Wow.
That friend told me, Larisha, you changed. This is not you. I love you. I want you to come up out of, you know what I mean, this. I can't sit by and watch. You know what I mean? You go through this and you experience it. So I thought the friendship was gone. And I had been friends with that individual for like 17 years.
Wow. How
did you reconcile?
No. Like what?
I mean, obviously, yeah.
But did it impact in a way? No, the friendship. Did it impact you in a way then that
We didn't recover the friendship.
okay?
Oh,
Didn't. The individual did not want to reconnect with me. Abandoned.
So you felt abandonment because of the, and that's the thing is like, it's like y'all said, it's so many people, key word, settle. And so I'm thinking about what you're saying with the settling. And I'm thinking about, I've heard clients say this. We hear girlfriends say this. We hear, especially women, no knock to the men. We hear them say this. Especially in there. I'm waiting for my Boaz season. If you don't read the Bible, look, so she was working. What you doing? Anybody? Okay. Break it down. However, comma, because this is not a sermon. Exactly. Let me center myself. Yeah. But it is so many women that, first of all, let me use Men Kenya for example. People are shocked to find out I'm his second wife. Because number one, we don't look old enough. They be thinking we're not that long to get married. But I hear so many women say, well, I'm just waiting for God to bring me my person. Because you notice everybody say this time, bring me my person, bring me my person. So you with someone that's toxic, dysfunctional, abusive, belittle you, you don't know your worth and your identity. And I remember having a conversation, and this wasn't in the counseling room, because y'all know if you ask me, I always say, you sure you want me to tell you the truth? Okay. So how are you having a placeholder, but you waiting for God to bring you? How is that going to happen? And it leads back to this conversation, which goes back to our episode, Me, Myself, and I. You are holding a placeholder because you don't want to be lonely, because that's what everybody's saying in this season. But you don't want to get to know yourself. But you're mad at God because you stand in this that he probably didn't tell you to get into in the first place.
Very true.
So I'm mad at you because I gotta be mad at somebody. It can't be me. I'm not the problem. Maybe it's my 17-year girlfriend that I had an issue with to say to get out. Clearly. But God is the issue, but you're waiting for who he has for you. So why not get you some counseling? Find out who you are, your identity, your voice. If you've been through a bad relationship, what you will go through and will not go, because that's what I felt. Even in all of our breakup, the commonality is you learn, like what Kenya said in the beginning, what I will not go through again. But that's what counseling is for. And so once you place a standard, you have healthy boundaries. When the circus come to town, the Ringling, Barnum, and Bailey Circus, whatever it used to be called, you be like, nope.
I love that when you say the whole toxic, you're in a toxic relationship and you say you're waiting for your person. When we're talking about people who have broken up, right? The breakup has occurred and we're saying, okay, now what? But the thing that I don't feel like we kind of hit on yet is the toxic behaviors that the person engages in once they break up. Like revenge.
Oh my God.
I'm coming for you.
Stalking.
Baby.
Stalking.
What?
Yeah.
Checking the ex social media.
Yes.
Bashing. Engaging in rebound relationships.
Yeah.
So you ain't even interested really in a person. They're the placeholder.
They're the placeholder.
Until God send you your person. How he gonna send you somebody when you already got some stuff?
If God, you seen it.
Right.
What you expect? What you expect? No, it's something. I got you. Yeah.
What it is that.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Can I pause just for a second? Because this protects me. Okay, I'm going to talk to y'all, the people. I'm not going to talk to my people over here because they feel me in the spirit when I say this. Why are y'all, first of all, on social media lying? Because what you do is you come out of this relationship. I see females do this so many times. And then you'll turn around and talk about, God bought me my boo. God bought me my person. You're lying again, and this time on God. And then you on social media, and I ask this question all the time. Why are people, especially when they get married, baby, you announcing to the world about, oh, we engaged. Y'all doing no, not when the man put some thought into the engagement. We don't want to take this away from our men. Because some of these little engagement surprises be cute. But you're doing it for the gram, because that's what kids used to say a few years ago. So why are you loud about announcing the connection that probably ain't godly in the first place, but then you quiet when you disconnect. And we say this a lot, and again, no, not to the church, no, not, but we say this in a different forum. Why are we so loud and we want to stamp God on it? But then you're like, wait a minute, y'all know how we be, but then you mad talking about stay out my business. Talk about something. Nikki, you see this? Now you know, wasn't Lakeisha just in a relationship with him? Wasn't that like 6 weeks ago? Sure. Now then, who is this? Girl. Then you mad because you put it out there. So be quiet in the beginning. Pray, seek God, go to therapy, talk to your mama and them to see if this is your, because 9 times out of 10, you got somebody in your family with a spiritual gift that'll tell you. Because I told my kids, give me 3 days with my boy, give me 3 days to be around, and I'll let you, and I'm telling you how I said it. I'll let you know if that bride is about your life or not.
That's it.
But sometimes kids don't listen.
So, you know what? That's very key, because sometimes people won't listen to other people. Sometimes they won't listen to the thing that has been said and done to them right in front of their eyes. And I give you guys a good example. When you go into the Bible and you read about Samson and Delilah, everything that we spoke about in this relationship series was going on right then and there. She was manipulative. It was a toxic relationship.
Right.
She had an ulterior motive. And all through that, he kept lying to her to try to protect the secret that he knew he couldn't reveal. But she got him to a point where he finally told her where his strength lied at. And once she got that, now she gone, because she got her money and gave it to all the people. Now they know he's how he can be weak, and they cut his hair. The reason why I wanted to tell that story is in 2 parts. Listen to everything that we said about relationships, important connections, and what you're supposed to do, and how hurtful relationships come about, especially in breakups. He had a bad breakup. Now he's weak all by himself in chains. But the thing that I want you to get from that is, in the end, even though his head was shaven, his hair still grew. So just because you go through something bad and somebody takes something from you where your power lies, it will still grow back. You just got to give it time and not jump into that same situation again. Now, we understand in the Bible, Samson went on and he actually brought the walls down. He actually died in there. But that's the other thing that we talked about as well. Sometimes dealing with toxic people, these toxic breakups, it brings death to individuals.
Right.
So you need to really pay attention to individuals and what they're showing you. Because they say the greatest trick that the devil ever did was to convince the world that it didn't exist. Same thing in relationships. Some of the greatest tricks that men and women do is to try to tell you that they're not a bad person.
Ooh, so you gotta learn. You gotta learn. You gotta learn from those past things.
Absolutely.
On how, and again, it goes back to what we've been talking about. Like I said, going back to the beginning. What did I learn about me in this? What do I need to learn about me in this? What did I miss? What was happening in front of me that I ignored? Those red flags, those black flags. What behaviors hurt me? But just like we've been saying collectively here, is that people want to skip over going through the process of the pain and get back to feeling good, that euphoric feeling. And it's only temporary.
Absolutely.
It doesn't last long. So would you rather have a relationship or a relationship with yourself that lasts for a lifetime, or have a feel-good feeling for a temporary moment?
That's good.
I just want to say, one of the reasons why I think about people have a bad breakup is they linger too long. They stay around. They allow the person to contact them back again. Like they'll cut them off, but then let them 2-3 months later, they might say, hey, just checking in on you. And it just kind of re-engage. And then they get caught back up. And so now you have to go through this healing process all over again. And that's what causes bad breakups. So kind of going what you guys were saying, like allow yourself to make a true decision that you're not going to go back, and identify what did I learn and what did I gain? Because you do gain a sense of self if you truly allow yourself to detach from a person who is not healthy for you. And this could look like at work. If a work environment is not healthy for you, you have the right to leave.
Right.
You don't have to stay.
You don't have to be loyal to dysfunction.
No.
Sorry, it just
jumped out there.
She said, I like that.
It's a silent
Sorry.
No, yeah, you
to be loyal to dysfunction? Why do we think we have to remain? Because we were taught that if we take care of ourselves, we are selfish.
Right.
And we can't be selfish. We have to make sure we're available for everybody and everything.
That's
so we don't, it's very unhealthy.
We are not God.
We are not. We are not.
And we'll self.
Yes, we are not. But even he had boundaries.
Right.
He had boundaries. There's certain things you can't
He rests
do.
on the seventh day, but they want us to keep running.
Right.
And so we'll self-sabotage for connection. And something that I was thinking about, I wanted to, self-sabotage for connection. I had to sit in there for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Something that I was thinking about, because of course I'm thinking about the relational realm and we are in a relational series. You made mention and it made me think people will keep the door open just in case.
Just in case.
And what I've heard people do is they'll say, because you be like, look, heard me and Nick again. Girl, they still together. You know, we on that. And so it's like, well, no. So say I'm her. No, we not still together. But, I'm trying to say this in a professional way because we're in a professional setting.
But we at the table,
just
girl.
say
It's
Look, I know.
She said,
I'm gonna say it like this, and then I'm a translate it. so now, girl, we not together anymore, but I still let him hit it. Y'all see it. What that means for the people that don't understand, and somebody would just bust it out laughing. I'm still engaging in sexual activity with him. But people don't realize, you think you cut off the day-to-day, we done moved out. Because I don't, number one, this what I'll get on my soapbox. We done moved out. But we still leaving, I'm going to leave the door open. But you keep that connection, but not realizing you think you broke up in your mind, but you're still connecting on a deeper level still because it's sexually.
Check this out, though. And this is kind of what I was talking about a little earlier when we said let go.
Yeah.
So remember, this is relationship now. So this is mental.
You freedom of mind.
This is physical. This is spiritual.
When you were talking about, that's exactly what came to my head.
You got to let go at all of those levels. Let go at all of those levels. Yeah.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
So with that, because that's what I'm thinking. Like when you were talking about that, I was like, yes. And that's why I was going to go deeper with you with that on that.
She said, be like nice.
Level and that. So you had left emotionally, but you stayed physically. What was your spirit man saying?
My spirit man was like, This is not where you're supposed to be. This is not your husband. This is not your husband.
Yeah.
I was so trying to make him my husband. And he was trying to make himself my husband. But he couldn't be my husband.
Wow.
So when you fail to disconnect on all of those levels, you are tied to a past when you're trying to go forward, and it's hard to go forward when you pull back. Like you cannot go forward when you it's too many things holding you there. So you have to let go. So I can't be having sex with you.
She started it. Sorry. I'm listening.
I can't be on your social media profile. I can't be texting you. We can't have mutual friends.
No, it's sad. I know.
I cannot. I gotta disconnect. I gotta let it all go.
What?
Go ahead.
Was you still in the DMs? No, that was a long time ago. Never mind.
No. So the cutoffs happened.
Right.
I transitioned to a new location. The Joker found me.
No.
Came to my location, left messages. Left messages in my workspace.
Oh.
Yeah, my soldiers was like, hey, Sarge, this person stopped by, came to my location. I was in one location, moved.
So
they
you tried to physically.
So I had to. Yeah, but y'all, it's multi story.
Wow, this sounds like a lifetime.
But it is. I learned so much.
Man.
And so much healing transpired. You know what I mean? In a short time.
How long did it take you to heal?
About 8 months, 9 months.
Do you see this, y'all? It takes time. It's not a month of healing.
So what I'm hearing you say too, because we want to give you all things that you can do, right? So the goals that you can set, you separated yourself by moving, switching locations, moving to a different location, transitioning. Yes. So start a new hobby, focus on self growth. You can do fitness things, change a career change, whatever to help you grow into the next level or the next phase of your life. But it gives you that sense of forward momentum. If you are steady, you staying still in that, you get stuck.
Right.
And then that's when you want to sit up there, I wonder what he doing now. Oh. Or you got people reporting, and let me tell y'all,
Tell them, Nikki.
No, the do's and don'ts. If your friends are calling and texting you pictures and sending you screenshots of him, that's not your friend. You might want to reevaluate who you call your friend. Because if you are my friend, you're not going to give me a play-by-play of what this man got going on or what this woman got going on.
Yeah.
Especially when you know I'm trying to heal.
Right.
That's not a friend. That is not a friend.
There's a do's and don'ts.
Yes.
Go ahead. I just thinking like, man, I wish we could write down the do's and don'ts for them when it comes to after an unhealthy breakup. So maybe I'm just thinking outside the box. But go ahead.
That's good. I feel like that's good. I have made my point, girl.
Well, and to your point of what you were saying, while you are healing, especially after toxic relations, because what I find is, let me write that down while you're healing, because y'all know my head to go this way. What I find. So while you are healing, being very mindful of your healing environment. Because let's think about family, and something has taken place, and we talked about, I think we will, maybe not. Family secrets might be another form. For example, okay, so family secrets in our series, what people will do when they're not in a healing state is they'll recruit. So let's think about a family. Let's be honest. Let's look at all of our families. If somebody had wronged you, then instead of admitting that because they're in an unhealed state, they'll go recruit other unhealed individuals in the family. And so now it's y'all versus them. And it tends to go back to that black sheep. So what you were saying about the girlfriend, you supposed to be my friend. You know I'm hurting and I'm trying to heal. You're supposed to be a part of my healing space. But you sitting up here giving me tidbits that's re-injuring me over and over and over again. And what you mean? And then because people don't understand when they're trying to transition from an unhealed to a healed, trying to be in a healed space, because then your mind, that mind is important, mental health. Your mind is saying, what? He moved on that quick? And we're not going to talk about comparison. Misidentity. Oh my God. Her body banging. Oh, look at her hair. Oh, what is she mixed with? Now you find yourself not only on his page, you on her page.
Obsessing.
That part. And then you're telling yourself, I'm not good enough. So are you truly healing? So I say all that to say, while you're in your healing environment, be mindful of who you are in relationship with, friends, wives, family, whatever. Because your mama may be saying, well, that's the best you gonna get. He got money. How many times do women hear this and they stay in it? He got you in a bad house. You driving a Rolls Royce, but he's beating my head in every day and night. So who is in your healing environment?
Boundaries.
Go back and watch the show.
Y'all better get yourself
boundaries.
Boundaries.
Yes. You have to establish boundaries.
Yes.
After a breakup.
Yes.
With yourself and with those who
That's
are around.
Right.
That's right.
Yes.
So take a minute, write that down. That's one of y'all do's.
I'm taking notes.
Do have boundaries. Definitely have boundaries. Healthy boundaries.
Healthy.
Absolutely. You know, one thing that really comes to my mind is all of you were talking. I want to bring it from a different perspective, and I want to just speak, in a sense, strictly to the men.
Okay.
Because I believe, and I could be wrong, it's a lot harder for men when a breakup occurs, sometimes based off of what we were taught as young boys.
Okay.
So you have a breakup as a man. You feel emotions. but you were taught not to show your emotions. So the only emotion that really comes out after breakup is anger.
Yeah.
And so now you're quick to go find somebody else because what you're trying to do is replace what you had so you get that same feeling of love, belonging, connection, and all of that. So you jump right back out in the scene looking for somebody else really quickly, and you have not healed from that. And really, it kind of goes with societal norms. Men don't want to stay stagnant for a minute. You got to prove you're a man. I got to show that I can still protect, provide, love, whatever the case may be. So you're quick to run and jump back in that relationship because we don't sit long enough with ourselves to know who we are as men, because we place our identity in the person that we were connected to. And oftentimes that's why you will see that I get out of a relationship with a woman. You end up in the same space with another woman. It's the exact same thing over and over again because your body starts to get comfortable. When we talk about those soul ties and things of that nature, you begin to be comfortable with that type of energy. So that's the energy you attract. And so for men, I think it's a lot harder to pull it off because we have to look at ourselves. We are human beings. So what we have to do is we have to sit for a while by ourselves, get to know ourselves a little bit better, and then go back into it so that you learn a lot more about yourself, but you also know a lot of things that you're learning about the opposite sex as well.
Okay, so what for men? What should a man do? What would be some of his do's and don'ts following a breakup?
Number one, a do is take time to yourself, talk to a counselor. If you're not at that point, if you have your father that's there, a father figure, talk to someone you can trust about what you are feeling. Go ahead and get that out.
Okay.
And that helps with communication as well. Really open up your mouth and say what it is that you need to say to individuals. And maybe some individuals can provide some type of feedback for you that will be beneficial for you. The thing that you don't need to do is don't go to people that's going to tell you what you want to hear. They need to tell you what you need to know.
That's good.
Don't just side with me and say everything. Oh yeah, I believe you. No, if you're wrong, tell me I'm wrong, because I don't want to go down that same road and mess things up again, potentially, or be in the same situation.
Are men as open though to receiving that or that type of correction from other men?
I think it's easier to receive it from a man that they trust than it is from a woman, because sometimes when a woman is trying to tell you some things, you're automatically thinking, oh, well, she's on her side. So it may be harder to get down on the inside. Sometimes you need to get around your boys that are honest with you and say, man, look, we know you was in that bad relationship. Yeah, but I got that. Man, you trying to date already? You got to be around some true people that's going to tell you what you need to hear to help you heal. It's no different than what you guys were saying about the women and the things that they do. Girl, I'm sending you pictures. This is what he's doing. Blah, blah. Why would you want to hang around them same guys when they're trying to tell you, man, go out to the club, get you $100 and get some ones? Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Right.
And you're doing all this unhealthy
It's
stuff.
raining.
Yeah. You need to spend some time by yourself to understand yourself, reevaluate what your expectations and your goals are in life, and then say, if I'm going to achieve that, who is the helpmate that best suits that position for me to help me get to those goals? And I help her get to her goals.
So women, I hope y'all heard what he said. It is not your job. It is not your responsibility. It is not your duty to go and correct that man about what he is feeling or pull a badger out of him, what his feelings are. If he wants to express them with you, if he trusts you enough,
there you go.
He will express them to you. If he's not expressing his feelings and emotions to you, then there's a level of trust that has not been established.
Absolutely.
And you all need to reevaluate that level of your relationship. But don't go putting him down, badgering him because he won't tell you what's going on. Allow him to have his moment to go out and speak with who he needs to speak with, even if you don't agree with it. I don't want you talking to Willie Boo or whoever out there. I hope your name ain't Willie Boo, but
I hope it's not.
Absolutely.
Stop that.
Sir.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
This is what we do.
But if you are out there, if he wants to go and talk to him and he's getting fed from Willie Boo now, allow him to receive what he needs to receive from him without you feeling like you have to interrupt that or intervene in that. Same for you men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same for you men. Allow the woman, if she comes to you and expresses how she's feeling and what's going on, don't make her feel like her feelings are invalid.
Mm-hmm.
Embrace what she's saying, hear what she's saying, and don't fix it. Please, men, stop trying to fix it. We don't want y'all to fix us. We don't want y'all to fix us. Bottom line, and I feel like I can speak for all women when I said we don't need to be fixed. Listen, hear us. Actively listen. If you don't know what active listening is, I'm pretty sure we got a show on it.
Oh, yeah.
Go back and listen to our show season 1, where we teach you all how to actively listen and respond in situations. But learn that. You will learn a lot about a woman if you just actively listen.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to be the fix. I know that's what y'all do. And not because I know that's what y'all do. Men wants to make things all better, and we get that. But we are not a project that y'all need to fix.
Absolutely. And the other thing I want to say, there was an old cliche out there that I just want to debunk right now. And it used to say, the best way to get over a woman is to get under another.
Ooh, I've heard that.
Sir. My God.
Such lies.
Dude, right.
Only thing you go do is carry the same stuff from the last relationship back into that.
Infection.
There you go.
Infection.
Yeah.
And we talked about infection in our last series, How to Heal. Infection leads to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It leads to death.
it does. And I'm just going to speak from a man's standpoint, but it can go for women too. Why is it so important for an individual that they have a breakup in a relationship to hurry up and get back in another one? And the thing that pops up in my mind the most is that I got to show that other person that I could do without them.
Yes.
I got to show this other person that I found something better.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a competition.
And it's also the pressure. Because like you said earlier, with men, like they're, okay, you this failed, go on out there, bro, get you another one.
Yeah.
You know, don't sit here and be crying over her because she didn't move on. It's the pressure from society to hurry up and move on. To avoid vulnerability.
And what that does is that puts so much pressure on a man that he gets to a point where he's emasculated.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with you? Why can't you keep a woman? You better hurry up and go do this, that, and other. And then if a woman is talking to him, what? You can't even keep no woman. So what makes you think, blah, blah, see? And now you're breaking that individual down even more. And he's just suppressing. So when he does get in a relationship, the very first time that new lady says something that that other lady used to do, bam, the explosion happens.
Right.
Okay.
We are here.
We at the end of the show. We're at the point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I feel you. Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
Okay,
Oh my God.
We be having a moment when we have to end because we be loving to sit here and talk to y'all. If we can talk to y'all.
Yes.
It's a lot of
We do come back. We do.
Yeah, we're going to come back because, see, we got something for y'all. We know how to come back.
Absolutely.
Right.
Even though we're this loss of ending this episode, we coming back. We coming back. So we're going to end it right here. Do y'all have, like, if we can sum it up? Oh, and I want to say in one word.
She said she got it.
Oh, it's not one word.
Okay.
Let's sum it up for us, Rachel.
Okay. Just as clay is reshaped after being damaged, you too are reshapable. You too are reshapable. Allow the experience to be a period of transformation where you are now refined. You're not blemished or diminished after the breakup.
Ooh. And there you have it.
Boom.
Thank you all so much for joining us here tonight on Talk Therapy Heal. I pray that something that was said tonight penetrates you in a way that makes you want to do something different about your life and release something different. Release what you've been holding on to, what you've been carrying, and let it go. Before y'all leave and let go of this episode, right? We need you to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And we'll see y'all later. Thanks.
Bye. Peace out.